Hello and welcome. Tonight, Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetukun vows to mop up illegal arms, which he described as the driving force behind the spike in criminal activities across the country. Police Service Commission refutes allegations of corruption by the police over recruitment of constables into the force, asks the police to back up its claim with evidence. And organized labor in River State asked police to vacate secretariats of local government councils in the state, say denying workers access to their offices is a breach of their rights.
And on business news tonight, the Securities and Exchange Commission unveils new framework to support bank recapitalization efforts in Nigeria.
On sports news tonight, Team Nigeria's Chukwuebuka Enekwechi wins Nigeria's first gold medal in the men's shot put final at the African Senior Athletics Championships, which began today in Douala, Cameroon.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, House Committee on Public Petition summons Group Chief Executive of NNPCL, Mr. Mile Kyari, over an alleged 80 million naira debt.
And in international news from London, the scandal involving bets placed on the date of the UK election is growing, with calls for the UK Prime Minister to suspend several members of his party over the allegations.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetukun, has identified the proliferation of small and light weapons as a major factor driving violent crimes in the country. Speaking in Abuja while playing host to the National Coordinator of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, the police chief says the Nigeria Police remains committed to combating the illegal possession of arms, which is equally driving banditry, terrorism, and insurgency. Mr. Egbetukun, however, gives an assurance that the police will support the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons to recover such arms.
We realize that the center plays a very important role in curbing the incidences of violent crime in Nigeria. We all know that violent crimes in Nigeria is being driven by the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. It's as a result of illicit transaction in arms and light weapons that's actually aiding banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and even terrorism. So your center has a big role to play, and I want to assure you that the police will continue to support you, will support you in the areas of intelligence sharing, will support you in the areas of enforcement of all operations, enforcement of all laws, will support you in the areas of all operations that will lead to recovery of arms, and that will also lead to tracing the sources of these arms.
Meanwhile, the Police Service Commission has asked the Nigeria Police to issue supportable proof to back allegations regarding the recruitment of constables. The PSC, in a statement by its head of press and public relations, Mr. Ikechukwu, says the allegation by the police was to give the commission a bad name. The statement adds that even after the Supreme Court judgment, the police is reluctant to allow the commission to perform this constitutional assignment, while also insisting that due process was followed throughout the exercise. The Commission wants its list of successful candidates and that of the police to be subjected to a forensic audit using the result of the JAM computer-based test. Part of the statement reads, quote, "It is unfortunate that the police has attributed its obvious failure to protect lives and properties and safeguard our nation from banditry and terrorism to bad recruitment. This claim is self-indicting and provocative," end quote. The Nigeria Police had previously rejected the names of those recruited by the Commission, alleging that after scrutiny, it was discovered that several names of persons there are those who did not even apply and therefore did not take part in the recruitment exercise. Over now to River State, where the state governor is assuring everyone that in spite of the security concerns over the administration of local government areas, the state remains safe. Governor Siminalayi Fubara clarified that the state is not under siege, contrary to perceptions formed from reports of protests and the police takeover of council secretariats. He made the remark during a visit to Omuma local government area where 2 security operatives were killed in a political clash. The governor was there to inspect the progress of work on the 14.6-kilometer Omodo-Iberi Road project.
We're in Omuma to inspect a project that we started and to prepare ourselves that maybe in the next 2 months we might likely be coming here to commission this project for the good people of Omuma. That's why we're here. And to also tell Nigerians that River State is peaceful. You can see we are moving about inspecting as against what you see on the screens of your television, that police is everywhere, that we don't move about anymore, that River State is under siege. We're not under siege. The state is free. And if at all there is any problem in the state, I know quite well that Nigerians know where the problem is coming from, not from us.
Staying with rivers, the Nigeria Labour Congress, the NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, in River State are asking the police who have taken over local government secretariats in the state to vacate the council premises. The demand was made following an emergency State Administrative Council meeting at the NLC Secretariat in Port Harcourt. The meeting addressed 3 key issues: the constitution and inauguration of caretaker committees in the 23 local government areas, the call by the All Progressives Congress, APC, for a state of emergency in the state, and the police takeover of council secretariats. NLC Chairman Alex Aguano acknowledged the police's efforts to maintain peace, but stated that denying workers access to their offices is a breach of their rights. Now, the TUC chairman in the state, Ike Chukwunyefuru, on his part, describes the call for a state of emergency as uncalled for.
All our detractors, let them come out and give us one state in Nigeria that have even agreed that they will do 80,000 naira minimum wage. What federal government is doing 62. Lagos is doing 70. Some states are struggling with 30. River State is the only state where local government workers are taking minimum wage of 30,000 naira. Other states or local government are still taking 18,000. We understand all this. River State is the only state in Nigeria today where the governor is currently constructing 20,000 housing units for workers. That project is ongoing. We challenge all the other states. Show us what your governor is doing. So why will people continue to the market River State?
Both NSMT to call on the Inspector of Police to immediately direct the Commissioner of Police River State Command to allow legitimate workers of the various local government councils to access their offices. Unanimously uphold the ultimatum issued by the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees (NOGE) for the Nigerian police to vacate and allow unfettered access of local government workers to access their offices without further delay. The council in session unanimously condemned in strong terms the purported call for a state of emergency in River State by some supposed political leaders of the state, which in all ramifications do not wish River State people well. While we appreciate people's rights to self-opinion, it is also important not to allow our self-centeredness override our sense of reasoning. In conclusion, the entire workers of River State are hereby put on red alert of possible actions to protect and defend the interests of River State workers.
Meanwhile, the River State caucus in the House of Representatives is appealing to the Speaker, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, to stop a member of the House, Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, from meddling in the political crisis in River State. A statement issued by the leader of the caucus, Honorable Dumnameme Deko, says that the current situation in Rivers is none of Honorable Ugochinyere business because he is from Imo State, a state which the caucus says is grappling with political and social issues of its own. The statement adds that the disagreement in Rivers has never been brought to the floor of the House of Representatives to warrant other members' intervention in the debate. According to the caucus, since the disagreement, Honorable Ugochinyere has thrown caution, decorum and responsible conduct expected of the high office he now occupies to the wind. The caucus adds that Honorable Ugochinyere has instead put himself forward as a veritable tool and an agent provocateur for a cause he knows nothing about. The lawmakers are of the belief that Honorable Ugochinyere actions in the guise of representation or presentation outside of the House impinges on the privileges of members of the caucus, the integrity of the House itself, and constitutes a reckless violation of the Constitution per sections 49 and 72. Meanwhile, the lawmaker representing Idiato North, Idiato South Federal Constituency of Imo State at the Green Chamber, Ikenga Ugochinyere, has dismissed the allegation of meddling leveled against him by the Rivers caucus in the House. Mr. Ugochinyere, who was a guest on our political program Politics Today, says the group is the authentic caucus in the House. He's also asking Governor Simonalayi Fubara to keep his eyes on the activities of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State.
I don't want to dignify such things with a response because
they are your colleagues.
The authentic Rivers, the authentic Rivers caucus have issued a statement today, and that is the one led by Right Honorable Abiante. He has issued a statement and have disowned that statement. You have Boma, part of it. You have Honorable Anderson there. You have Mona Chim. You have Emerengwa, and other committed Rivers federal lawmakers who belong to that caucus. So they have issued a statement, and I think that statement is out there in the public. And if you Google it, you can see that the Rivers House of Rep caucus have disowned that statement. And for the fact that they have disowned that statement, that is not coming from them, and they have reaffirmed confidence and appreciation for many years of sacrifice in defense of democracy, that is very consoling, and I will not want to dignify anybody that is seeking my attention with a reply on that matter. Our governor needs to stop sleeping. That our governors must behave like governors of 99, governors of 2007, and step forward and provide leadership and stop hobnobbing with those who doesn't want us to survive, including the leaders of the party. Speak up, stand up, show solidarity in support of the opposition movement in the country. And as a matter of fact, the national chairman needs to give way for the North Central to assume their rightful position as spelled out in our party constitution, so that the process of reforming and rebuilding and reconciling and uniting can commence in the party.
To security now, a traditional title holder in Nasarawa State, the Madaki of Shabu, Mr. Musa Shuaibu, have been abducted by gunmen. The police public relations officer, DSP Raman Nansel, confirmed the abduction to Channels Television. He said Mr. Shuaibu was abducted Thursday evening after observing prayers in a mosque opposite his house in Shabu, a suburb of Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital. He adds that efforts are already ongoing to rescue the victim and also arrest the culprits. The troops of the Nigerian army say they have neutralized several bandits in a fresh coordinated attack in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The coordinated ground and air strikes by troops of Operation World Punch successfully neutralized several bandits, including some of their leaders, at an identified meeting point near Bola community within Yadi Forest in Giwa local government area. According to operational feedback to the Kaduna State government released by the State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arawan, the strike was based on credible intelligence, which followed the recent elimination of some bandit kingpins along the Kaduna-Katsina border areas. Mr. Arawa said that the intelligence report had earlier revealed that bandits were to converge at the area for a meeting on a deadly mission within the Yadi Forest general area before they were dislodged by troops of Operation World Punch. In part two, after the break, Sickle Cell Foundation marks its 30th anniversary, focuses on the concerns of people living with the disorder.
Fidelity Bank is pleased to introduce its public offer and rights issue. For just 9 naira 75 kobo, you can subscribe for a share in Fidelity Bank, and shareholders can exercise their rights with just 9 naira 25 kobo per share in the rights issue. Time is ticking, so join us at Fidelity Bank. To subscribe, visit any registered stockbroker or any of the issuing houses to the offer or any Fidelity Bank branch. Offer lasts till July 29th, 2024. For guidance, please read the prospectus or rights circular or consult your stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, banker, solicitor, or other professional advisors.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
New Rexona Advanced Protection Roll-On. For all-day, non-stop protection from sweat and odor. Keeps on working all day. Stay dry and fresh for longer. Try Rexona. It won't let you down.
It's hot. Have you seen the remote?
No, I haven't seen it.
How did you do that?
The future belongs to the dreamers, to the doers, to those who are not afraid of the side hustle. It's for those who are ready to turn their passion into something big and to help keep you revitalized and inspired. Top T is with you every step of the way. You are made for more. Find your inspiration. Top T, big round bags of flavor.
Buy a Risco product.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of the family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
Fun. But as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
In River State, asked police to vacate secretariats of local government councils in the state, say denying workers access to their offices is a breach of their rights. And Russian President Vladimir Putin warns South Korea it will be making a big mistake if it arms Ukraine in the war against Russia. The Director General of the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Major General Garba Wahab, retired, is asking the judiciary and all Nigerians to collaborate with security agencies in the fight against insurgency, banditry, and terrorism. Addressing a news conference in Abuja ahead of a national seminar on asymmetrical national security challenges, General Wahab says the fight against insurgency will be won with the effective collaboration of all Nigerians. He adds that the military and other security agencies are doing their best to curtail acts of terrorism and insurgency in order to ensure a safer Nigeria.
That's one of the reasons why I said the judiciary must be up and doing. A series of allegations have been leveled. And we are not leveling allegation against anybody, but we must work as a country. With the exception of Lagos State, which other state in Nigeria allows electronic evidence, yet it's been passed. You find it very difficult. And then the military will not attack a place, arrest Boko Haram, and you go back to that place, you go and burn down. It's a major thing in the Northeast. Nobody will do that. Yes, maybe at the initial stage, but after 2010, when we start having problem of, okay, the people say, oh, you burned down our place. So all those things, you don't. What you are trying to do is not revenge. One of the principles of what they're doing, justification. Whatever you do must be justified. So when people go to court and they said, oh, they burned down everything, we can't get evidence, is that somewhere along the line people don't want to be seen, to be part of it. Even here in Abuja, Abu Kaka was arrested. How many people were arrested? How many years imprisonment was the person who was sentenced? 3 years for a terrorist. By now he's out.
According to experts, by the year 2050, the number of people living with sickle cell anemia is expected to increase by 30%. Many of these experts joined the Sickle Cell Foundation on its 30th anniversary to answer the concerns of people living with the disorder and to deliberate on the way forward. Our correspondent, Mary Alale Yusuf, reports.
It's mostly a virtual engagement with people gathered in small groups or on their own. People living with sickle cell anemia and experts in the condition are in attendance. A lawyer and founder of Heimer Health Initiative teases a panel discussion with some of the challenges people living with sickle cell disorder face.
I would say sickle cell as a non-communicable disease is not given the priority that it should be, both at the government stage and at the international stage. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, it seems that like our health priorities are set more at the international stage because it tends to go where the funding is going.
Questions such as, will I live beyond my 18th birthday? And how does one handle being different, coming from sickle cell champions?
I kind of made a conscious decision that if I'm not able to meet up to my mates physically, then I have to be able to surpass them mentally. Hence, I started working on myself mentally.
Take a lot of rest. Feel your body. You mustn't do what others are doing. If you're tired, learn to rest. And I believe, as a teacher, I'm a school teacher, I've seen warriors that are very intelligent. I've not taught any warrior that is dumb. I encourage them that they can make the best they can have in life. I also encourage parents, don't look down on any child. We see those that are not SS that are dying, while sicklers are alive.
The chairman of the occasion talks about interventions which have improved quality of life, while the national director and chief executive officer of Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria assures the champions that life expectancy for them is no longer short.
You're going to live past that 18. You are going to live past 20 and more. So we're doing better and better. It's not all doom and gloom. Let's emphasize that.
There's so much hope now, as I said. There are disease-modifying drugs, the first of which was hydroxyurea to be licensed and approved. It has made a lot of difference to the lives of sickle cell patients. There's no question that hydroxyurea helps.
To solve the problem of institutions' reluctance to treat sickle cell champions, the Sickle Cell Foundation is introducing a waiting list and calling on private concerns to contribute to the initiative for their seamless treatment in hospitals. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Now let's head to the nation's capital, where Gloria Umezuke is standing by to give us the very latest from Abuja studios. Hello, Gloria.
Very many thanks, Ayo. Here in Abuja, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petition has issued what they say is a final summon to the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Mile Kyari, after he failed to honor previous invitations. The committee chairman, Michael Itabahu, was visibly upset, says Mr. Kyari has repeatedly disrespected the House with his refusal to honor invitations. He demanded that he must appear on June 26 to prevent the House invoking its legislative powers. Also summoned is a general manager of Ajip Oil Company. The NNPCL and Ajip are to answer questions following a petition against the two companies.
This is one of the matters that I think my colleagues should be aware, that if there is any disregard and disrespect for this House, this is one of the matters that the whole world needs to hear. There is no time we have invited Melikari, and he appeared before the House, most especially in this committee, a parliament that Mr. President respects. And he comes here to do his rituals on a yearly basis by presenting his annual budget to the parliament. So if you are holding the mandate that Mr. President has given to you on behalf of Nigerians, and this is the House of the people, and these same Nigerians voted all the members in this committee and in this House, this 10th Assembly, and this 10th Assembly will summon you for how many times that you are not here, we'll just give them a short adjournment. And this adjournment will be 26th of June 2024. 26th of June 2024. If they fail to appear, then we will invoke our powers as legislators and as a committee and as a House.
Governor Agbu Kefas of Taraba State has assured residents of the state that he will revamp primary and secondary education as well as health infrastructure in the state to make life more meaningful for the people. The governor spoke at the commissioning of the remodeled Taraba State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. He also assured Nigerians that the people of his state are hospitable, hence the need for both tourists and investors to visit the state.
Located within the Highbrow area of Asokoro district in the Federal Capital Territory is the remodeled Governor's Lodge for Taraba State. It's named after the former Minister of Defense and prominent son of Taraba State, General Theophilus Danjuma. Governor Kefas says the project is in line with his vision to build world-class infrastructure for the state.
So we're taking them one after the other. Education. As I said, I'm going to rebuild all the schools in Taraba State, all the primaries and secondary school in Taraba State will be rebuilt and then well furnished, equipped, and make the environment conducive for our children to learn. And after that, hospital will be rebuilt. So many health facilities will be provided to make sure that our people stay healthy and safe. And in terms of infrastructure, roads, we are going to do more. The airport is ongoing, so many things. So Taraba State should be expecting more. All we need is cooperation from everybody. And before you know it, Taraba will become a light of this country.
Beyond the building, the governor is inviting tourists and investors to the state to explore its rich resources.
Anywhere they're talking about Nigeria, they must mention Taraba State. And this is just the beginning. And you can see that so many people are interested in Taraba State. So many people want to be part of the progress in Taraba State. And that's why you see the caliber of dignitaries that are here. If we are to invite people, I think almost everybody is going to be in this place, and this place can contain us. So the people of Taraba State are good people. They are hospitable, and everybody is interested in our progress. So we should put our heads together, and then let's unite together to be able to bring out the best that we have in our state.
The man of the day, General Danjuma, then leads other dignitaries to cut the tea and unveil the plaque before he and other dignitaries are taken on a private tour of the facility.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Securities and Exchange Commission unveils new framework to support bank recapitalization efforts in Nigeria. That's in business news. Please join us again.
First Money is Nigeria's biggest and most preferred agent banking network. Thanks to First Money, millions of people are living their dreams. Meet some First Money agents who are driving this.
One Kesu Kireke from First Bank introduced me to First Money. I forgot searching for jobs.
Ya taimaki mutane sosai wurin matsowa kusa da yanayin banki. Da sai sun tafiya mai nisa kamin su je su samu banki.
Through First Money, over 1 million people across Nigeria have their financial services needs met daily. In all the accessible local government areas, you're bound to find First Money agents. With First Money, we're bringing financial inclusion and the many benefits that come with it. You first. First Bank.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiance and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pulp extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
To eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Okay.
Gotta go now.
Okay, why don't you hang up?
No, you hang up.
You're the one who's gonna eat now. You need to hang up now.
No, I dare you to hang up.
You want me to hang up?
You really need to hang up now.
No, you hang up, you hang up.
No, you hang up. I have to go.
You really want me to hang up?
Let's switch to a video call so I can see your face.
Fine.
Now you can hang up. Hang up, Joe.
Make your nights memorable with Glow Night Data Bundle. Dial *312# to start.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data.
Glow Unlimited.
Lawal believes his focus on addressing the infrastructure deficit in the 14 local government areas of the state is achievable. The governor expressed this belief during the commissioning of the Freedom Square Government House, Lalan Sokoto Road, among others. The event was also attended by former governor of Bauchi State, Mr. Adamu Mwazu, royal fathers, as well as heads of federal and state agencies. Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State arrives alongside the former governor of Bauchi State, Mr. Adamu Mwazu, for the commissioning of several road projects within the state capital, Gusau. One of the projects is the former Bello Barao roundabout, which has been renamed Freedom Square. It links the city center to the government house and the Old Markets Road. The project is part of efforts to implement the master plan for the state.
These two roads you are going to commission are 3 out of the 4 urban renewal roads we have initiated. One was initially commissioned by the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, and the 2 you are about to commission today from Freedom Square to Nasiha Junction, which measured about 700 meters. Then from Freedom Square to Government House measured 840 meters. Then there is one to be commissioned later in the day from Government House to Laland Gadaju, which measures 3.9 meters.
The special guest of honor is a former governor of Bauchi State, Mr. Adamu Mwazu, who also served as the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party from 2014 to 2015. He commended the governor's efforts at developing the state.
The good thing about the roads and the projects we're about to commission that I have seen so far They meet the best international quality by any standard in the world.
The governor, while delivering his speech, reels out his vision for the road infrastructure in the city as he pledges to do more in the other local government areas.
There are other numerous roads that are still under construction within Gusau town as well as other local government. I'm sure very soon we'll be going to Nasarawa, Burkulu side, and Bukwim, where another company is handling another road.
The governor also pledged to do more in other sectors to improve the quality of life of the people.
I want to assure all the good people of Zamfara State that, inshallah, my commitment to the rescue agenda of the state will continue to be pursued with great vigor and unshaken devotion.
Alongside the former governor of Zamfara State moves to officially commission the road. The delegation moves to another location for the same exercise. This time it is the road connecting the Freedom Square to the UBA Junction Road. The state governor explains that the next phase of development will be in the local government areas in the state as he pledges to make Zamfara a modern state. Well, that's it from the nation's capital. For more on the news at 10, it's back to Ayo in Lagos.
Thank you so much, Gloria. The challenge posed by a lack of adequate electricity in Nigeria continues to negatively impact citizens, especially those in rural areas. In order to bridge this gap, Shell Nigeria and its impact investment company Alon signed a $395,000 contract with Sea Solar Energy for the construction of renewable energy for Owegora community in Bayelsa State.
The point where we really put our money.
This ceremony sets the tone for a new dawn in Owegora community in Bayelsa State as All-On Shell-sponsored Niger Delta grant for the construction of a solar energy project comes into fusion. And for Shell and All-On, the mini-grid will provide the much-needed energy for the community.
This project will provide up to 430 connections, serving both social and productive use needs. The funding from this grant will be instrumental in deploying the mini-grid and bringing the much-needed energy to the community.
This Shell Nigeria-sponsored project is one in many across the Niger Delta to provide the needed electricity, making available 430 connections and improve the economic life of the community.
As at the end of last year, the All-On portfolio included some 49 renewable energy access companies. So it's great to see now that is the turn of Owegora to benefit from All-On's groundbreaking work.
We want to have our story as an indigenous company that came to the ranks and actually got support from All-On and Shell in the process. So we really want to have the support continued as we go along, and we want to make sure that we make you happy and we make everybody happy in the Niger Delta.
It's time for parties to put pen to paper, and this is the result of a rigorous process, and after a careful consideration, Sea Solar emerged. Like other communities in the Niger Delta, Owegora has experienced lack of steady power supply, and the coming of this solar energy project is bound to impact the citizens and enhance their livelihoods.
We look at grants to realize our objective. This is just one of the grants, and there will be opportunities for other grants in the area to other developers through the same rigorous process that we have mentioned.
Energy provision, renewable energy, with some particular focus on the Delta. And no better place to essentially do that in terms of a mini-grid than Owegora community in Bayelsa State.
Sea Solar Energy says it is prepared for the challenges ahead and set to deliver on the project.
This project is one that would enable us to improve power supply in a Owegora community in Bayelsa. We're going to impact the lives of over 2,000 people, and our experience has been in building mini-grids, in supporting businesses all along.
According to All-On, This grant is more than a financial support, but a testament to the company's shared commitment to sustainable development and empowerment of communities in the Niger Delta region.
In its efforts to keep infusing life and growth into the creative industry, First Bank Nigeria Limited, in conjunction with Space Media Network and the Department of Theatre Arts, University of Ibadan, have adapted the award-winning play Okelangbodo to a stage play. Now, the play, which premieres at the Wole Soyinka Theatre in the University of Ibadan, is a Yoruba folklore which seeks to strengthen unity, tongues and tribes. Speaking at the premiere, First Bank's Group Head, Public Sector West, Mr. Timothy Arowogun, says the company will continue to lend support to the creative arts industry as it falls under its key mandate areas of investment to develop the SME sector across the country through its First at Arts initiative.
It's a nostalgic feeling for guests and fresh excitement for others as they arrive at Wole Soyinka Theatre, University of Ibadan, to watch a reenactment of the Yoruba folklore, Okelangbodo. Okelangbodo is an award-winning play adapted from Wole Soyinka's Forest of 1,000 Demons by Wale Ogunyemi.
Will you perform this task for me? How do you see? Wherever it pleases the wind, even there it directs the forest.
This viewing event on stage is presented with the help of First Bank. According to the organizers, the project seeks to be a nexus between the old and young in creative arts and nurture the relationship.
For anything we are going to do, we have to begin to look at our youths. We have to think about them, about tomorrow for the youths. And First Bank is doing that by ensuring that we bring the production to the department, involve the students in the department.
The stage play, directed by Rocco Iwinla and Babatunde Jubaro, has its central theme wound around the quest for unity and progress, a theme that aligns with First Bank.
As a bank, we have aligned ourselves with creative arts in Nigeria and in Africa because First Bank is a global institution and we believe that we can sponsor them. They are like SME, which is one of our core areas of support.
For 130 years, First Bank has dedicated itself to empowering small and medium businesses among all its customer base, as the company has a broad spectrum of support in place to promote unity and progress using the arts in various forms.
We have an umbrella platform, which is called First at Arts, that focuses on empowering SMEs and that entire value chain, actually. So you look at so from funding to what you would call, counseling, providing facilities and platforms for actually training SMEs and all of that.
The government believes projects like this deserve support and encouragement.
Anybody who has something like this, we should encourage. And part of, that encouragement is for us to be here, for government to lend a support to something like this.
Okelangbodo, which premieres on the 18th June, runs through till 29th June 2024.
It's now time for some business news with Will Ibong.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Ayotunde, and welcome to Business News. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has released its Framework on Banking Sector Capitalization Program 2024 to support the Central Bank of Nigeria's recapitalization efforts. The framework aims to guide banks, holding companies, and market participants in navigating the recapitalization process efficiently and transparently. According to the SEC, this initiative comes as a response to macroeconomic challenges
and aims to help banks strengthen their asset base to support economic growth. The framework outlines the procedures for raising capital through rights issuance, private placements, or other approved methods during the 2024 and 2026 recapitalization period. The SEC further emphasized the importance of full disclosure and compliance with relevant laws. The continuous exit of multinationals from Nigeria's business environment remains a huge concern to the Nigeria's Employers Consultative Association, NECA. To stem this trend, the Director General of the Umbrella Organization of Employers in the country's organized private sector, Mr. Adewale Smart-Oyerinde, believes that it requires the concrete efforts of both the public and private sector, with the government taking the lead. Mr. Oyerinde was a guest on Business Morning earlier today.
Every agency, and this is very important, every agency, every ministry, all departments of government, both at the federal and the subnationals, they must all work in harmony so that we reduce the contradictions that we find in this economy. And those are key issues. One agency of government or the federal government cannot be promoting job creation, and another agency of government is also creating bottlenecks for job creation. We cannot say one agency of government is promoting ease of doing business, and some other agencies of government or level of government, they're also creating bottlenecks for ease of doing business. Everybody must work in harmony so that we are not communicating different messages to the international community. The international community, they are listening, they are watching, and they are receptive to coming. But those issues, those big and salient issues about the regulatory environment, about the tax environment, even about security, we need to deal with them because those are fundamental issues. Not to mention the issue of the justice system. If your justice system, your legal system is not strong enough and it doesn't give an investor the guarantee that when there are issues, the legislative system will deal with the issues and deal with it without partiality, then it becomes difficult for them to come.
Let's take a quick look at what's happening in the UK, where retail sales saw a significant rise in May, bouncing back from April's subdued figures influenced by poor weather conditions. Data from the Office for National Statistics revealed a robust 2.9% increase in sales volumes for May, surpassing expectations set by economists. And now back home, the domestic stock market closed the final trading day in negative territory. John Mekwa tells us more.
Thank you so much, Will. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Report, the final trading day of this week, and we saw the NGX looking all bright at intraday. Unfortunately, at the close of trade, a lot of profit taking has happened, and so we see the all-share index is down 0.10%, and we're moving further away from the 100,000 we're supposed to regain. 99,743.05 market cap is still hovering around 56 trillion naira. Top trade holds the story. FBN Holding was in the news yesterday when we saw Mr. Otedola buying a lot of stocks from that, and by today we saw that profit taking had taken over. 75 kobo was shed off, but a volume of 208, still the highest volume of trade for the close of today. GTCO followed 59 million in volume of trade. This also lost at the close of trade. However, Veritas Capital actually gained at the close of trade today. It gained 8 kobo to close at 97 kobo, but traded 56 million. The sectors showed the banking dropped, obviously, because Fidelity lost, FBN Holding lost, and so banking was in the red. 1.26%. Consumer goods, however, 0.16% positive at the close of trade because of international breweries and Cadbury. They gained and did that. Oil and gas, Eternal Oil, well, moved it from that uncertainty and put it in the green at the close of the trade. So, but in spite of these greens, we see that we're closing the NGX today with the bear.
Thank you, Ini. Let's see if...
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks, Will. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned South Korea it will be making a big mistake if it arms Ukraine in the war against Russia. Mr. Putin's comment comes after Seoul said it was considering it a possibility. Here's Simon Hughes with other international news in Around the World in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The scandal involving bets placed on the date of the UK election is growing, with calls for the UK Prime Minister to suspend several members of his party over the allegations. The Conservative Party Director of Campaigning, Tony Lee, is being looked into over a bet relating to the timing of the general election along with his candidate wife. A Tory spokesman said the party had been contacted by the Gambling Commission about a small number of individuals. It comes after Rishi Sunak's closest parliamentary aide, Craig Williams, apologised for placing a £100 bet on a July election 3 days before the Prime Minister announced the date for the poll.
I was incredibly angry to learn of these allegations. It's a really serious matter. It's right that they're being investigated properly by the relevant law enforcement authorities. I want to be crystal clear that if anyone has broken the rules, they should face the full force of the law, and that's what those investigations are there to do, and I hope that they do their work as quickly and as thoroughly as possible.
Vladimir Putin has warned South Korea it would be making a big mistake if it arms Ukraine in the war against Russia. The Russian leader was speaking in Vietnam shortly after a lavish visit to Pyongyang. His comments come after Seoul said it was considering such a possibility in response to Russia and North Korea's new pact to help each other in the event of aggression against either country. People placed under restraining orders for domestic violence do not have a right to own guns, the Supreme Court has ruled. The 8-1 decision upholds a 30-year-old law that bars those with restraining orders for domestic abuse from owning firearms. A video released by the Philippine military appears to show Chinese and Filipino boats clashing in the contested waters of the South China Sea. The Philippines has accused Chinese vessels of ramming Philippine boats, then boarding them and seizing weapons. The country's top military commander said Chinese Coast Guard personnel were armed with swords, spears and knives. This appears to be an escalation after a series of dangerous encounters as the two sides seek to enforce their claims on disputed reefs and outcrops. The confrontation took place as the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard were delivering supplies to Filipino troops stationed in the 2nd Thomas Shoal, a decrepit Navy ship used as a Filipino outpost.
We stand by our Philippine allies and commend the escalatory and irresponsible actions by the PRC to deny the Philippines from executing a lawful maritime operation in the South China Sea to deliver supplies to service members that are stationed at the Sierra Madre. The PRC vessels' dangerous and deliberate use of water cannons, ramming, blocking maneuvers, and towing damaged Philippine vessels endangered the lives of Philippine service members. It's reckless, and it threatens regional peace and stability.
A photo of the Prince of Wales and his children has been released alongside a special message to mark his 42nd birthday from Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The picture showed the Prince leaping into the air with the 3 young royals, Prince George, Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte. An accompanying message signed by Catherine read, "Happy birthday, Papa. We all love you so much." Orange powder paint sprayed onto part of Stonehenge by activists has been removed.
Oh my God! No! No!
2 Just Stop Oil protesters were arrested after spraying the historic site near Salisbury in Wiltshire. The demonstration had been condemned by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer. Just Stop Oil said its motivation was to demand the next UK government to end the extraction and burning of oil, gas and coal by 2030. And Chinese electric vehicle maker XPeng's affiliate has shown off its latest experimental drone car during a short test flight. XPeng Aero HT flew its latest experimental drone car during a short test flight to demonstrate what the future of transportation could soon look like in the country. Called the Voyager X2, it can fly for up to 25 minutes and can reach speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thanks, Simon. Let's begin with some cheery news in the world of sports. Team Nigeria, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, has clinched Nigeria's first gold medal at the African Senior Athletic Championships, which began earlier today in Douala, Cameroon. Enekwechi, fresh from winning the men's shot put at the National Olympic Trials in Benin City on Monday, June 17th, through 21.20 meters, setting the championship record in the men's shot put final. He completed a hat-trick of African champions titles, having won in Asaba and Mauritius, and is now tied for the most gold medals by a male shot putter in the history of the championships. Meanwhile, Ashley Anumba led a Nigerian podium sweep in the women's discus throw. She produced a last round effort of 59.30 meters, striking gold ahead of Obiageri Amechi, who got silver with 58.80 meters, while Chioma Yekwere landed the bronze medal with a throw of 57.96 meters to complete a Nigerian top 1, 2, and 3 finish. Away from our shores, France and the Netherlands edged towards the last 16 at the Euros 2024 after a goalless draw in Leipzig that failed to catch fire in the absence of starman Kylian Mbappe. The French captain sat out of the whole match from the bench after breaking his nose in France's opening 1-0 win over Austria just 4 days ago. The share of the spoils leaves the sides level on 4 points at the top of Group D. France take on the Poles, while Netherlands will face Austria in the final games of the section on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Austria boosted their hopes of reaching the knockout stage of the competition earlier today as Marko Arnautovic scored an impressive 3-1 win over Poland, for whom Robert Lewandowski only managed an ineffective substitute appearance. Radvanic's Austria will likely secure qualification for the last 16 if they can avoid defeat in the final Group D match against the Netherlands on Tuesday. And that's your sport news tonight. I'm Kelly Giga. It's back to you today.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And the main news again. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun today vowed to mop up illegal arms, which he describes as the driving